Everything wrong with your life is probably your fault. Well, almost everything. Let me explain. Do you ever get the feeling of dread that you should be doing something else, maybe something more important? And I'm not talking about being bored to wash the dishes or vacuum the house. It's a very distinct feeling I would get, and it's very hard to describe it to someone that has never felt that. Time seems to almost freeze. It feels like you suddenly wake up and you find yourself at a crossroads, and you know what the correct path is, but just because one is more difficult than the other, you make up excuses and go down the easier one. Countless times this would happen to me on different occasions. I would return home from work knowing I should go to the gym. Well, I am quite tired. There's always tomorrow. Yeah, I'll go tomorrow for sure. Playing games, I will suddenly snap out of it and think to myself, what am I doing? None of this actually matters. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's fine to game every now and then, and it's a very nice way to unwind with friends and family, but you need to realize when you have a hold on something, or something has a hold of you, actually getting angry and smashing your computer screen over some elo points is probably not healthy. For the first time after watching this scene, I was able to see that feeling in front of me, and it terrified me. That weird sensation that I didn't know what the hell it was. I was able to come face to face with it, and after I was finally able to understand what it was, I was able to overcome that feeling and grow as a person. First, a quick summary. Blue Lock takes place in an academy where Ego, this guy, he's trying to find the ultimate striker that can lead the Japanese national team and ultimately win the World Cup. Among these strikers is Baru, who so far has been an absolute king at Chad, on and off the field, with his way of life being I will live as I please and win as I please. For the first time in his life, we see him being truly tested and he's on the brink of collapsing. The match is a 3-on-3 with the current score being 4-4, and the next score ends the match. Baru has been absolutely humiliated so far, crashing down from a king to a mere donkey that has been devoured by Isagi, so they might have a chance to win. But what has led to this point? Let's go back a bit so we might better understand how someone's fall from grace, or kinghood I guess, can ultimately, along with some ego, use this fuel can make you better. Baru's slow descent begins after he experiences his first loss earlier against Nagi and Isagi. Thankfully, since he was picked to join their team, he was able to escape elimination. But still, for someone who thinks so highly of themselves, it must really stink to have only passed because of someone else. At the beginning of the match, Baru gets the ball trying to score by himself, ending up losing the ball, which cost them dearly, making it 1-0. We see the same thing happen again when Isagi is alone, has a clear view to score. Baru once again refusing to pass, losing the ball, which results in another goal. It's now 2-0. All because Baru doesn't want to change. Nagi and Isagi, rightfully frustrated, come to the conclusion that they need to win this pretty much 2 against 3, completely abandoning Baru. Something which is very clearly depicted when Isagi has to choose on whether to pass to Nagi or Baru, with Baru's path being full of dead ends and Nagi having endless paths to score. Isagi still knows though that they can't win this with just the two of them, and the missing piece is Baru. That will be the key to winning the game. A foreshadowing line which will come to effect one way or another. More on that a bit later. Meanwhile, Baru is more upset with himself than anyone else, showing it by saying, with my talents, how am I not winning? This is a very important and much needed revelation in order to awaken his true self. After some amazing display of teamwork, it is now 3-1. With his back against the wall, Isagi finds that the only way Baru can be useful right now is as a simple diversion. Isagi literally turns the king into a scarecrow, someone who only exists there to take up space and scare away the defenders. After being devoured by Isagi, we see Baru slowly come to grips with reality. 3-2. Baru, not wanting to give up, steals the ball, but once again loses it because he chooses not to pass and go alone. Thankfully, Isagi, knowing full well what Baru is like, he is able to get the ball and score with the help of Nagi. 3-3. After a remarkable display of skill, Chigiri is able to score, making it 4-3. Only one goal away from winning the match. Only one goal away from defeat. Baru thinks to himself, how have I been brought to my knees without scoring once? One come to the conclusion that maybe he suffers from the big fish in a small pond phenomenon, which refers to individuals who excel in a relatively small and less competitive environment, such as a small town or a less prestigious school, but then experience a decrease in confidence and performance when they move to a larger and more competitive setting. I'm sure you have seen countless examples of this yourself. Maybe you were smart in your high school, but when you left for college, you started seeing even smarter people, making you feel inadequate. It's essential for individuals experiencing this phenomenon to recognize it's a common challenge and that feelings of inadequacy are not indicative of their true abilities. With time and effort and a positive mindset, many people can adapt and thrive in larger and more competitive environments. We've seen Barrow putting both the time and effort into the sport, but what he needs to understand is his mindset is currently flawed. Feeling hopeless, he storms in hoping he might be able to redeem himself, stealing the ball from his teammates and shooting from midfield. He of course misses. Thankfully though, after some quick thinking from Nagi and Isagi, the ball ends up just a few feet from Barrow, while Chigiri is right behind him, leaving him unable to slow down or even shoot. Under this tremendous pressure, not knowing what to do, Isagi appears in front of him, demanding the ball with his terrifying look, and completely involuntary, Barrow is forced to pass. For the first time, we see Barrow literally break down. In his own words, he didn't pass the ball, it was forced out of him. Truly, the king has been dethroned. We finally caught up. Board 4. Isagi and Nagi need to get the ball and score. Both teams understand that relying on Chigiri's speed will be the best play, so they plan accordingly. Rei. Ball to Kunigami. Kunigami to Rei. Rei to Chigiri. And Nagi, coming out of nowhere with a crazy gamble, is able to intercept the ball, which lands in front of Barrow. Isagi now with a commanding tone towards Barrow. Let's go, donkey. Barrow, completely defeated at this point, is almost happy, finally relieved of the stress of being the lead, of having to be perfect. Taken aback by all the ways Isagi and Nagi are capable of scoring, he feels as though they're taunting him. One pass and Barrow will play a vital role in winning this game. A supporting cast. With his teammates shining so brightly, he finally understands how everyone he played with must have felt in his presence. Sure, some people might be happy with that, just being a part of a winning team. After knowing defeat, it's truly difficult to overcome that and be in the spotlight again. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay to give up. It's okay to trust others. To trust the supreme strikers. And there it is. The feeling. Time stops. Barrow finds himself at a crossroads, unable to make a decision. Under this tremendous pressure, he is able to get a glimpse of the future that awaits him if he passes. The dark future led by broken dreams caused by escapism, not having truly fulfilled his true ambitions or anything close to his capabilities. Realizing this is nothing but a loser excuse to go through life, he uses every single bit of ego he has, refusing to live in a future like that, shattering everything. He shatters his past self, he destroys his limitations he has set on himself, and he becomes a completely different person, capable to get past everyone, not relying on someone else's path to score, but creating his own twisted path, going so far as to use Isagi as a diversion, much like he had done to him earlier. Like how two knives are able to sharpen one another, Isagi and Barrow used each other to propel themselves to even greater heights. Defeat is a natural phenomenon when it comes to competition. Everything is a competition. Like Ego says, it only matters what you take away from it. Think of Jordan. Everyone knows she was cut from the high school team, and through sheer ego and willpower, he was able to become the best basketball player of all time. Kobe Bryant is another great example of this. Rest in peace, by the way. Some people consider him the GOAT. Something that everyone agrees, though, is his killer mentality. His ability to use his ego to outwork everyone he came in contact with. You need to carve defeat into your mind. Never forget the feeling. It must be one of your driving forces. Most people are unaware of their lack of talent, or just straight up don't acknowledge their mistakes, constantly making excuses for their mishaps, completely unaware they're even doing so. Dream doping. Having a goal you want to achieve, and after realizing you might not be able to do so, you might just be happy with a simple pursuit of the dream. But what the hell is the point of living if not to achieve your dreams and goals? Ending this video, I would like to leave two thoughts. One is going to be from David Goggins. Even though it might be a bit cheesy, I urge you to just listen to it.
The unfulfilled potential is the story of most people's lives.
It is. It is. And it could have been the story of mine. And I tell a lot of people go, what's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say, I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So let's just play a game with me. Let's say you're God. And we have a big fucking long line of people. And I made it to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. And you have Adam Brown. He has a big board up. And you're talking to Adam Brown about his life. And you rip it down. And I'm next in line. David Goggins. I see my name. And I see all this shit. And God goes, hey. You say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull-up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. and God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be. And my biggest fear, I visualize some crazy shit. My biggest fear is that one day I'm going to reach a judgment of my life. Something is going to judge me for what the fuck I was supposed to be in life. And what I want now is that whoever's judged me up there, I want them to have a board and them up there right now getting their pen out. Because, this person who judges you is supposed to know everything. Supposed to know from the time you're dead to the time you're, time you're born, time you're dead. I want this person to be up there to be like this, up there writing more about me, saying, "Fuck, I know you could do that. I know you can do that." So I want to impress whatever the fuck is up there, whatever's going on in life. I want to go up there and not have anything left on the table. I want to drain my soul of every fucking bit of person I am.
Second, this all might have been just silly anime and stuff like that, but I urge you to look at your life, see the things that you want to change, and actively try to change them. Think to yourself that you're better than this, and do something about it. Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, thanks, but hold on. I have a code for 30% off for display paintings if any of you are interested. I bought some and I'm not planning to buy any more anytime soon, so why let it go to waste? I will be giving it away in about a week. You only need to be a subscriber, like the video, and comment that you want the code. Happy New Year's, guys.